There's just not enough room for these people. There's not enough room for our own, people, let alone 500 men. 500 men.
Would you say majority of people in Portland aren't happy that the Bibby's coming here?
I have a 12-year-old daughter and she's not very happy about going out when they're going to be here because most people think they're going to cause trouble. I don't think they're going to cause trouble or mean to cause trouble, but because they're from somewhere where there are different rules on women and girls, it could, they could think that they're doing the right thing, but here they're doing the wrong thing, and it could create a lot of tension.
The community of Portland is in the 10th quartile of deprivation for the UK. They struggle with services, they struggle with resourcing for the area, and we're really just asking questions where that money is going to be going.
It's going to impact lots of things coming here. It's like we can't even get doctor's appointments. I've rung up for one last week. I can't get seen till the end of the month. I don't really know. It's just lots of things. The NHS is overrun as it is.
Would you say you're concerned about the Bibby Stockholm coming to Portland?
Not at all.
And why is that?
I just think that as a community we've overcome a lot of different challenges and a lot of different things. I mean, COVID, I think, was a lot worse on us as a community than what the Bibby Stockholm's going to bring to us.
If everyone keeps quiet, keeps their heads down and waits to see, instead of marching up and down protesting about everything, the far left, the far right, everyone's got to say, and it's all negative. And really, truly, we've just got to wait and see.
I'm sure they're not bad people, but I bet the local crime rate goes up in the next 6 months.
Anybody who comes into this country, as far as I'm concerned, who throws away their papers, who comes here without being invited, right, has no passport, is an illegal migrant. Right? And as far as I'm concerned, I would turn the boats back in the first place. There would be then no cost to the country. There might be an argument with France, but if France wants to start arguing, what we need to do is every time they let a boat come into this country, we tell one of their fishing boats, you can't fish in our waters. Now, I wouldn't care if they even shut the Channel Tunnel, because I'd be happy.
Are you concerned that the Bibby Stockholm's going to have an impact on the economy in Portland?
Yeah, I think that, it is nationwide now. Everything's all nationwide. So people might think, oh, well, we won't go there, because there'll be lots of men wandering around, with people with, it's mostly people with families that come down, and you just don't know. For the safety of your children, you're not going to risk it. So, I mean, at the weekend, when there were protests the other weekend, the cruise ship didn't come down, and that cost the economy a lot of money.
Next year, the holiday industry down here will take a dip. Right, there's no two ways about it, because people will not come. You can see it on the internet now. There's people saying, I'm not coming to Weymouth next year, I've been coming for years.
I'd say that the majority of people I've spoken to have been quite apprehensive of the Bibby Stockholm, so
That's right.
You're probably the first person that I've spoken to. Do you think that's unusual? Do you think the majority of people feel that way?
No, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. It does appear that an average of 96% of our local community are of a Caucasian sort of background, so it's quite different for a lot of the, especially older members of the community. It's really bringing out a lot of racially charged sort of opinions, and I don't think many of them are very well informed.
What would be your response to people who say that potentially you're being racist?
Like I say, it's not about the race, it's not about the religion, because like Islam, it's a very peaceful religion. It's got nothing to do with their religion. It is the fact that it's 500 men. And Portland, it's a lovely island. You can let your children just roam around, you can leave your doors unlocked. We don't know who these people are.
I support a charity that helps Ukrainian refugees. Right? You don't see Ukrainian men coming to England and staying in the hotels. You see Ukrainian women and perhaps people who is ill and their children. Right? The men in Ukraine, 16 years old and over, have to stay there and fight. Right? people from Hong Kong and Afghanistan and all those countries where people helped us with the war effort, where Tony Blair started all the bother out there. Yes, we've got to support them because they'd be fodder.
They're playing like the racist card, but at the end of the day, if it was women with children, it would be so much easier to deal with, because if I was in that situation, I would more than less be doing the same. But because it's 500 odd men, I just feel like it's a risk to our island, because where they come from, they can get away with anything.
I think they're a valid point, personally, to have their own opinions, and I don't think, you know, you can't say one's right and one's wrong. You're entitled to have an opinion. And, you know, we've obviously got a lot of coloured people coming to the island now. Ethnic minorities coming. We've got new kebab place, new people in the post office who are Indian, and, you know, in the prisons, we've got loads of foreigners in our prisons.
I'm not against asylum. If they'd have done something on a smaller scale, or they'd have given us more communication, it would have been so much better. But just to say, suddenly, you're having this ship, we're dumping 500 men on it, that's it, you know, you're done. No, you know, nothing. No, you know, would you like it? Is there something that we could, you know, maybe do? I mean, a lot of people have said that if it was women and families, it would be fun. It's just everyone's scared because it's all men.
Our local authorities didn't really communicate with the local community about how this was going about. So everyone just kind of had to rely on the hearsay of other media outlets, bigger media outlets, you know, critically commenting on our local area. And I think they're just pulling whatever information they can from that. And as a result, I think that's brought quite a negative sort of impact towards it.
Would anything make you reconsider voting Conservative?
No.
Really?
No.
You're done?
I'm done.
Would you vote Labour?
No.